It's now become common to see protesters disrupting Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump's campaign rallies. But last week, one hijab-wearing Muslim woman decided to try something different. She silently protested Trump's anti-Muslim rhetoric by standing up in a t-shirt saying, "Salam, I come in peace," and was promptly kicked out to shouts of "Trump, Trump, Trump," and taunted as a terrorist. Flight attendant Rose Hamid joins me now from Charlotte, North Carolina. Rose, thanks for joining me on UpFront. What made you want to go out and protest in that way at a Donald Trump rally in South Carolina? Weren't you worried about your safety, about what the backlash might be? We've seen other protesters punched, kicked, spat at by Trump supporters at those rallies.
I'm glad I missed those scenes because I didn't see that level of horrificness. I was prompted to go for a couple reasons. One was that as an American, I felt that the rhetoric that is being spewed, not just from Donald Trump's campaign, but from other campaigns, is hateful, us against them, they're the bad guys, they hate us, we should hate them, we should be afraid of them, and all that kind of stuff is something that's really destroying the fabric of our country. And as an American, I wanted to stand up against that kind of fear-mongering, and it's not just against Muslims, but against all the folks that Trump and other people are trying to demonize.
Do you think
that
it
was
worked?
one.
Do you think it worked? Did it break down any barriers with his supporters?
I think that, well, I know that my son sent me a text or a screen grab from one of his friends that said, I used to be a Trump supporter until I saw the way that they treated your mother at that rally and no more. So I think that I'm hoping that people are getting the message that that's something that should not be tolerated by Americans in any form.
And what did people say to you at the rally as you were being escorted out? Is it true someone accused you of having a bomb?
Yeah, if you look at the video, there's a man in a white shirt. It's the first person who I encounter I was kind of surprised to have him be in my face like that, shouting, "You have a bomb? Do you have a bomb?" And my intention as I was leaving was to make one-on-one connections with the people who were speaking to me, no matter what they were saying, and trying to get them to see me as a person, as opposed to some scary entity that they've been being told to fear. That actually was one of my bigger reasons for going, was to try to make connections with people, and that actually did work. The people around me were very nice.
How much do you blame the rise of Donald Trump and his pretty awful rhetoric and policy proposals? How much do you blame that explicitly, specifically, for the rise of Islamophobia in modern America? Or does it go beyond Trump? Is he tapping into something that's already there?
Oh, he's definitely tapping into something that's already there. There is definitely an anti-Islamic movement in America, which is demonizing Muslims. It's any Muslim, anybody who speaks out, anybody who says anything positive, anybody who tries to get anything.
And Rose, it seems to be working. According to recent polls, nearly half of all Americans believe the values of Islam are at odds with American values. Nearly half of Americans agree with Donald Trump's plan to ban Muslims from entering the United States. As an American Muslim, that must depress you when you see those polling results about the views of your fellow Americans.
It's really disturbing, and it's disturbing to me as an American. This is not what America stands for. If you look at our values and what we were founded on, this is not what the American Constitution is designed to do. We are based on freedom and justice for all. We are based on the First Amendment right to free speech, to practice a faith of our choosing, to have a free press and freedom of assembly. That First Amendment, that's the most important aspect of, that's what makes America different. That's what's going to make us great again.
This isn't your first struggle on behalf of your faith, is it? When you started wearing the headscarf as a flight attendant for a leading US airline, how did passengers respond?
When I started wearing hijab, I'll tell you, and this is where I get my rose-colored glasses view, is that I have not had when I started wearing hijab to fly in 2005, and I've been a flight attendant since 1985, but in 2005 I started wearing it to work, and I have not had one single passenger, and I'm saying I see hundreds and hundreds of people every day. I have not had one single passenger be nasty or show me any type of hatred. I'm definitely not like I saw at the Trump rally the other night.
So you're an optimist or a pessimist about the future of American Muslims?
I am an optimist in every form. I really believe that if people stand up and start following their faith, and I mean all folks follow their faith, including Muslims need to follow their faith as well, learn about their faith and follow what Islam teaches and not what folks who are trying to use Islam for whatever their motives are. But things that people are doing that are hateful, that's not Islam. That's not the way that Allah has planned for us to live our faith.
Should Donald Trump be worried about seeing you at another one of his rallies anytime soon?
I don't know. It just depends on what happens between now and then. I think my little social experiment kind of proved itself to be true, in that if you make personal contact with people, that people are kind. Like one of the women, as I was being let out, one of the women actually turned around and took my hand and said, "I'm so sorry, this is happening." And it does need to be mentioned that I was not alone there. The rally was, or the protest was something that a group of people had planned, and I joined them. And so,
if you were lucky enough, miraculous enough, to get a face-to-face meeting with Donald Trump, some might say unlucky enough to get a meeting with Donald Trump, what would you say to him? What one thing would you say to Trump to his face?
and let him know that he has a responsibility to set the tone for how he speaks, and that um, he has the voice, he has the ear of a lot of people right now, and he needs to recognize the power that he has as far as how he can turn people so rabid so quickly. One of the professors at Winthrop College commented on how she'd never seen a political rally get quite so ugly. That was the first time she'd seen something like that, and she's seen a lot of them.
Rose Hamid, thanks for joining me on UpFront.
Thank you so much.